All right, well, we just finished up getting our direct sow seeds in the ground. We got all of our seedlings that were in cups in the ground earlier. That was the first thing we did. And also our potatoes. I did two different things with the potatoes. I made a short little video segment on that too, on how to do them in trenches versus doing bucket potatoes. So we got those all taken care of. Jade looks like a lobster. My neighbor's firing the cannons for us in celebration. And I'm having a beer. So I figured we'd walk through and show you kind of everything we got going on. And we left the seed packets out so you can see what the direct sow plants were and kind of get an idea of hopefully what this is going to look like in a couple of weeks or a month or two. But the idea of a fall garden basically is squeezing in one more round of summer plants that will grow pretty fast. So we have cucumbers, a couple others that we already grew once this summer, but we're getting another round of those. And then also growing plants that normally get torn up in the warm weather by bugs or other types of diseases, but now the warm weather helps accelerate them as young little plants. And once they start getting bigger and normally those problems occur, it's cold or cooler weather and they survive pretty well. And a lot of times they actually taste better after they go through a frost or two. So we sort of have a mix of those two types of plants. But yeah, let's check it out. So here we are in bed number one. We've got another round of our dar cucumbers. We showed you those earlier. And then behind them, we've got just basically what was left over of some sugar daddy peas there. They were pretty good this year, but hopefully we could get a little bit of a better harvest out of them this time. But there weren't very many left, so we'll see how they do. But they're gonna go up the trellis here. In the meantime, we've got just our peppers and stuff we're leaving. And in between of those, we've planted a bunch of daikon radish. So I really got into the fermentation thing, making kimchi and sauerkrauts and all that. But I've never been able to find daikon radish to use. So we decided let's grow some. So that's going to grow up here around the bell pepper as it's kind of going through. Maybe it will last another month or so, we'll see. But we've also put some chives around it too, just kind of filling in the gaps, and some more dar cucumbers, those bush variety of cucumbers there. So another bell pepper, we'll see how long that lasts. And then our chard, we figure that will go a little bit through the fall. Hopefully it's pretty hardy and they're getting pretty good stalks on them, so they'll last maybe until the first frost or so, which is about 2 months is what it looks like it's projected at. But we got more dar cucumbers here. There's some amaranth. What was planted here? Oh yeah, these long, what are they called? It's a cabbage that grow these long kind of stringy flowers, and that's what you eat. Yod fa broccoli is what's going in here. I've actually harvested and saved the seeds off of a plant from the spring, so we'll see if that actually works out for us. And then here we've got some more cabbage and some more cucumbers. So over here we've got our okra that's kind of finishing off, and down below that we put some red express cabbage, and this should be pretty cool. But you can see how the shade is giving it a little bit of protection from this hot summer sun. So that's sort of the idea, is to help it get going using what's already here and then letting this other thing finish off. So we've got some Chinese cabbage right next to that. And again, we've got a little bit of shade, but then a little bit of sunshine too, so it gets a good mix. But eventually this amaranth and the sunflowers, all this will come out, and these will be a little bit bigger and hardier at that point. So we've got a tomato who we kind of got in late. I can't even remember. I moved him from a different spot and just threw him in here, and now he's kind of taken off. So down on the ground though, around the bottom, that's the cool thing about trellising, is you got these big giant plants that normally take up a whole lot of space. Now they're up out of the way, and we could plant more stuff down at the bottom. So we've got a whole lot of French breakfast radish. That's one of our favorites. And then also some sugar snap peas growing on the other side of this trellis here. Maybe meet up with this side. We'll see what happens with those. I've got my my Clamato beer. It's just really the perfect thing after a long day of gardening in the sun. Let's not forget about that. All right, now we can move on. But over on this side, we've got these wacky carrots. They're supposed to grow really long and straight. I can't even pronounce it. I think it's manpukuji, but we'll see. We'll call them long carrots. But we've got these big tall beds, so they should be able to have a lot of space to grow the way they should. So we're pretty excited about that. What else is hidden in here? We have some baby bok choy. That's going to be all around here. We also have a purple bok choy, and we have a whole lot of it. So you can see our watermelons hanging out, finishing up there. They should be coming down probably this week, and we'll clean up all these peas and melon and squash vines that are all over the trellis, and that will let a little bit of sunshine in as well. So we have golden acre cabbage here. We planted those earlier. They were grown in cups. We'll see how they do. A lot of these cabbage that we have are early varieties. They're pretty quick. They don't get huge, just so we can make sure they get up to speed once it starts cooling down and we have less sun to make them grow. So let's see, we've got our sunflowers, amaranth, all that stuff's going to stay for a while. Here's our potato trenches. I had the pickaxe going today. I felt like I was mining for gold or something. But we've got our russet potatoes in the first one, the Yukon golds in the middle, and then our red Norlands on the right hand side. And they're all in there. They've got a couple inches of dirt on top of them. And as they get going, we'll fill it in and see how that works. It's a new method for us. Down around the sides though are those buckets that we made, where I mixed up some play sand and then some soil from the buckets that were there earlier, and made that nice and loose soil, and we got those started in the bottom. So as they come through the surface of the soil, we can add more and pretty much do the same thing. And the idea is that they'll grow more potatoes around the sides and maximize basically the growing area that way, and also protect them from getting sunburned too. If you ever see green potatoes, that's because they're a little too close to the surface and they produce a toxin that you're really not supposed to eat. But it depends. You can sometimes skin them and still eat them, just depending how bad it was. But we want to avoid that altogether, so that's the idea between these two different methods. Over on this side, we planted the Brussels sprouts, and those are going. I need to get some water on them. I haven't done that yet. But that's this whole bed. They're going to grow in between this amaranth and the sunflowers, you know, as they're maturing, and these are coming out and getting strong, having a little bit of shade. And then we've got some blueberries in here still. We might move these one day, but we're just growing around them for now. So that's going to stay and just be the way it is. But over on this side, we've got our tomatoes finishing off. These are black tomatoes and blue tomatoes, so really excited that those are finally coming along now that the temperatures are cooling down. Below those we have a Japanese giant red mustard green, and those will come up along the sides here. On the other side we have our spinach, and then some scarlet red radishes over there. I believe we also have Easter basket mixed variety of radishes in here too. We have a lot of Easter basket mix because we really like that good variety. Cosmic purple carrots going in there. Let's see, that's the other side of the golden acre cabbage. We've got butter crunch lettuce. This year we're going to let those head up instead of growing them as leaf greens. We're going to grow them as kind of a big globe of lettuce and harvest them that way. So there's our other two watermelon, amaranth, more cucumbers. You just can never have enough cucumbers, I guess. More cucumbers. These are our vine cucumbers, so they're going to go up the trellis and grow around what's left of the pumpkin and the sweet passion melons that we have. Man, those things were so good. I wish I could grow those all year. And then on the sides, we've got the purple lady bok choy right here that's going to come up all through here, and Jade said she planted like a whole lot of that. So I look forward to doing some kimchis and some stuff with a bunch of bok choy, and man, they're just so good to cook like any way you can. But yeah, other little highlights, we've already got one or two pumpkins off of our vine. We're just waiting for these to finish up. Should be any day now once those stems start to turn kind of brown and tan. You can see the vines are already dying off, so we're just waiting. But we've got some more. It grew over the fence. We've got one here on the fence. Oh, I see you, grasshopper. You're lucky I'm making a video, not heading to the chicken coop. Don't move. Anyway, But we've got another pumpkin or two on the other side of the fence here, so that's pretty cool. Our volunteer butternut squash that we have coming out of the compost bin is like, I think there's 25, maybe close to 30 squash on that thing, so it's crazy. But now I got to just figure out what to do with all this stuff, and lots of different types of food preservation is on our way next. So anyway, guys, that's it for the day. It's getting pretty warm out. We might be planting for fall, but we're not exactly there yet. So stay hydrated. I hope you had a good weekend, and we'll just see you next time. All right, thanks, bye.